So this was a book where I took Sex and the Single Girl, this seminal book from 1962 by Helen Gurley Brown, and tried everything that she recommended today. My parents took me to see Jaws when I was 4 years old, and I have this just insane fear of water and of doing anything that I'm not excellent at. So this was my attempt to challenge that. Oh God, I'm going to try a British accent. Kitesurfing is very difficult, explains the tan, lean, shirtless British guy manning the desk. It takes weeks to learn. Most of us have devoted our lives to it. That's the worst accent. Well, I'm embarrassed. Devoted your lives, I ask? Staring into...
We're here with Anna David, writer and author of Falling for Me, and she stopped by the Forbes galleries to talk to us. First off, I apologize because when I first heard of your book, and you know this, I think I called it like girl gossip, self-help, garbage.
But in the same article, you had called me your newest favorite writer, so all of that was just...
So it looks like self-help girl book.
It
smells
does.
like it, tastes like it, but I really liked it.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
I'm glad you sent it, because otherwise we wouldn't be here today. So in the book, you sort of model your life after Helen Gurley Brown, iconic editor of Cosmopolitan magazine, and the book was written over 50 years ago. So to take that advice and bring it in today seems like, I don't know, a really bad idea. And yet you found her to be a surprising, modern font of advice. So.
Well, I mean, because she's hardly your typical woman from the 60s. This shocked me because I figured it would be sort of like the rules, but with complete 60s values. Instead, it was shocking to me in 2009 when I read it, which, it's sort of, you, the single woman, you have it made. Do not listen to all of those people that are telling you there's something wrong with you. A husband's for the worst years of your life. Go have fun now.
So what was like the one piece of advice that you took from her that actually, I don't know, did you do like, I'm doing this for a year? What did you do that stuck with you that you're really still living with?
Well, all of it. I mean, because people keep saying, oh, that's one of those books you did it for a year. Well, I didn't unlearn everything that I learned. So I actually still do all of it. I basically took the very shallow bits and I took the less shallow bits. So For example, I redid my wardrobe. I sort of always walked around, in sweats and, sort of with cat hair all over me and was just a bit of a slob. My apartment, I didn't really realize that I had never actually taken the time to make a space that I loved because I think subconsciously, and it kills me to say this, I was sort of waiting for a man to come along and our lives would start.
Well, do you think that that's something that's changing, right? So that was obviously sort of like the mindset of Helen Gurley Brown's days, that your single years were this time where you were just biding your time until you found your husband. Do you think that that's still a mindset that exists today? I mean, are women really living that way?
Well, what I think has happened is, my mother's generation, basically, they went from parents' house to husband's house. They got their plateware and everything, from their wedding registry. Right. They had to learn to cook because suddenly there's a man and like a kid. So they had no choice but to learn. So they never really thought to teach us, oh, when you build your life, this is what you should do, this is how you do it. Shop classes had just been eliminated, and I was sort of given this message of, you're so liberated, you don't have to learn to cook. So I get to adulthood, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to put my apartment together because I'm so liberated. Well, I'm the one that's suffering because I need to know these things. So, I mean, so much of my book was really about becoming an adult, which I had put off doing for a really, really long time. And I really did embrace this sort of Helen Gurley Brown notion of you've got it made. Or not even that. It's not like the single women are living the life and poor married mothers. It's that we're all exactly where we're supposed to be. So we should stop kind of trying to, shame other women for making different choices.